Hello, YouTube Reseller Mom here. Welcome to Friday's live chat, question, answers, all topics Amazon with Tina, who we're arguing over Crocs. There is a deal going on at
I own
Crocs.
Crocs because I have to change my name every week because this week, Lucy, of course, most people think Crocs are really ugly. And she made a comment about how she wouldn't wear them, right? So I decided I'm going to wear my pink Pepto-Bismol pink Crocs today.
I have to say those are pretty ugly. I think they're terrible.
Don't be jealous.
Ah,
Don't be jealous.
I feel sorry. Anyhow, welcome everybody. We've got a slew of questions from the group, and you know what? I know I had one or two on my channel too, so I will drag those up. But go ahead and bring up. Do you have them in an order or anything?
Of what questions?
Yeah.
No, I have our Facebook page tab open on the other side where I asked what people would like us to talk about today or questions that they had. And let's see, Isabella said, I would like to learn more about selling on other international marketplaces, mainly Canada and Mexico. I would love to hear the pros and cons of it if you ladies have had any experience with it. And she's talking about selling without sending in the inventory to Mexico and Canada.
So we can talk about it, but it's going to be very short if you are merchant fulfilling it. And that's because I don't think I know anybody that really does that unless if they are an established business and selling lots and lots of items for a couple of reasons. If you ship and sell on the Canadian market, a lot of times their products are required to have the French label on there, and they have different allergens. So doing OTC or any sort of food is really hard because a lot of the products are not going to qualify to be over there. And then dealing with all the customs is the second part. It's going to be insanely much more expensive, and you have to deal with all the custom stuff. And then guaranteeing that it gets to the customer and you don't have it lost in shipping is difficult.
But what about the NARF program?
That's different. That is not anything merchant fulfilled. So
no,
NARF,
I don't think I meant, if I read merchant fulfilled, that's not the way I understood it.
you said without sending it into the Amazon warehouses.
Well, I think she meant abroad. Is the way I'm reading into that. Like she doesn't want to have to send in FBA inventory and ship it across borders to Canada to their FBA warehouses.
Right.
I think that's the way she meant it. At least that's what I think.
Okay, well, we'll answer both, so it doesn't matter.
There you go.
As far as shipping outside of NARF, I don't do it because of the reasons we just stated.
Yes.
For in NARF, it's absolutely a good thing to set up for most of us. If you don't want to deal with it, don't deal with it. I mean, it's up to you. I find that the sales are worth it. I get about $200 to $400 of my paycheck every 2 weeks is from Canada and Mexico, and I can't remember what sales it is. I just did my finances yesterday, so I remember my checks. And so we'll start at the beginning. Right now, you are automatically enrolled. If you want to see your settings for the NARF program, you go up to inventory. I've got to do it on the screen here with you guys. Inventory, global settings, and then you'll see the program here. You get a tour that pops up. God, their tour thingies that pop up are just ridiculous. At the top, you will have right under catalog, inventory, pricing, orders, etc. You have sell globally, understand the basics, build international listings, find a provider, and marketplace product guide. You hit build international listings. That is where you're going to enroll your products and your settings. My settings, I add 10% to any price that I have America. I have it automatically enrolled. So anything that qualifies for the NARF program, it just automatically enrolls, and they add 10% to the price. That covers me for any extra fees, converting. I'm not going to sit here and convert my items from American to pesos or the Canadian dollar and try to figure out what the market value is going to be over on those platforms. I don't have time for that. And that's not how my business is set up. If I was private label and only had like 3 items, yes, do your market research, figure out, what's going on in those marketplaces and price accordingly. But for me, it's just automatically list my items if I can. If I get the sale, great. If not, it sells in America, add 10%, but that is where you
One
go
thing I
for
want
it.
to point out, if you are participating like in the NARF program, and you will then have to log into those platforms. You can do it right from your Amazon seller account. There's a drop down menu where it has your store name and it says USA. When you click that up at the top of your page, it'll drop down. You'll see Mexico or Canada if you are enrolled there. And you just simply click those countries and it will take you to your account there. You will have account health to manage there. You will have policy compliance notices to manage there. So it is an extra step to not forget to go onto those platforms and make sure everything is good there and that your health is good. Because I have made the mistake where I've ignored things. I'm like, oh crap, I've got 3 policy violations over here on Canada because I haven't checked it in some time, because it is kind of like a set it and forget it thing. I had actually unenrolled myself from doing NARF not too long ago. I just didn't want to participate anymore, but it is an option.
Yes. Brandy asks, are some of the items already in Mexico? No, none of your stuff physically leaves the United States warehouses. They just fulfill them from the US facilities. They take care of customs. They take care of the transactions. And if you get a return, they have to pay for it to come back into the United States. So you don't get many returns. And then it just flows through like any other FBA seller. Other than what Tina was talking about, and I go in and I delete old listings, check your account health, check your feedback. That's it. So once a week, I'll go in and just delete old listings, double check my account health, make sure there's no bad feedback, and I move on with my day. So it's just added revenue. So I wanted to bring this up. I think I have got everything blacked out that needs to be blacked out. These are my settings. So I go inventory, sell globally. Under this, you default to here, I think. Go through the basics. This is where you build. The settings are all in here. I just do over here. Offer selected only FBA offers. You don't want FBM. Don't do your FBM. And then list price plus 10%, and then whatever. It's 1 to 1.303. Now, some people are worried about getting paid out. The way I see it in my bank is I get an Amazon payout from Canada in Canadian dollars, and my bank just transfers it into US dollars. They do that on the deposit side. So I don't deal with any sort of problem with the money exchange. Some people were worried that they were going to have to pay to take their check and transform it into, different currencies. I just have it go, you set up your bank account and it just goes in like a normal paycheck from Amazon. Now they are slightly different. Like I get my Canada one on Monday, my US one on Thursday, and my Mexico one like on Friday. So it shows up as 3.
I see Brandy's comments. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I got tired of managing all of that. And it's like, yes, I made money on those platforms. I may turn it on again for Q4, but I've kind of gone in and out of doing the NARF program. And I want to acknowledge all of you saying good morning to us. I see you, and good morning back at you.
Yes, good morning, everybody. And there was somebody at the beginning, Christelle. Is it Christelle or Crystal?
Yeah, Christelle. Chris, I think it's Crystal. Christelle.
Thank you for joining us. That's awesome that you
setting your alarm. That's cool.
We love it. We love it. Yeah, you can have a lot of red, Brandy, and that's fine. If there's anything red, like I just go in and delete that listing, like, because sometimes it's compliance or toy or some hoo-ha document that I ain't going to get. So I just go in and I delete that listing and it clears up the red right away. So it really is, in terms of effort, it's maybe a half an hour, probably less of effort for me a week to stay on top of that. It's built into my little to-dos on the board for systems to go in and check that out. And for an extra, $100 to $200 in revenue back, it's worth it to me. It's a couple extra sales. And yes, you do have to add the deposit methods, but if your bank account's already linked, like that's an option. You just say, add add a thing, you enter in your bank and routing number and set it up, and you're done. Somebody says, got my first 2 categories and gated with Amazon to Amazon. Awesome.
Nice.
Good job. Good job.
Congratulations.
All right.
Okay, and then there was quite a few questions on people would love to see our workflow, knowing about prepping and workflow. So there's a couple comments on workflow. Of course, it's not like we can show our workflow right here on a live, and everyone's workflow, I think, is a little different depending on what size of space you're working out of, and what your setup is. My workflow has changed as my space that I've given myself has grown, and the amount of stuff I'm bringing in has grown. And then sometimes I'm just haphazardly getting it done. Sometimes my workflow isn't organized because it becomes overwhelming. But for me, my workflow, and again, it's like, what are they specifically talking about? Our workflow from the time we're ordering it till it gets here to how we I'm not sure how detailed of a question that could be. I try to do some online orders once to twice a week. I try to go into stores once to twice a week. And most of my work is at home on the computer. When boxes are delivered, depending on the size, they either go right into my garage or they come to my front door. And then they get brought back here to this room. This is a big office space that I have with big tables in here. And inventory that needs to be prepped goes into one area. As the boxes come in, I try to cut them open and take everything out, because it seems like there's always more box than stuff, if you know what I mean. You get lots of boxes, and once you pack everything, it's like, oh, I now have more space with all these boxes out of here. And then they go on the area that needs to be prepped, which for me is over there. Then I'm sitting at this big, very long work table, and we have my husband's computers on this side, mine's on that side. As things are getting entered into batches, I rip off stickers, and he's on this side of the table bagging and then adding the stickers to the things. And once our shipment is big enough, we pack it up and get it out of the house, and then it just continues to do that. Sometimes it takes us, 4 or 5 batches in inventory lab to get it all out. So that's one example of my workflow, if that answers the question.
I know that Brandy had asked that at ASD, and I had talked to her a bit about it. And so I've filmed 2 videos for her
I saw
already.
those. Yes, I did see those videos.
Well, I haven't even posted them yet, I don't think.
Well, I saw the video where you had your 3 bins on the ground.
Okay, that was number 1. Yesterday I did one on inventory, on taking inventory at the end of the month. And then I was going to do the packing one today is on my list. And, more so like what you described is pretty typical, but I want to go over kind of just my SOP for it and some things that have helped me out with it. And then I damaged out things, so I have some items that I can play pack with to show the process of that. So that video is a coming. And any other, like, for me doing packing up, it's just going to depend on the product, but the system is the same. I start with a clean area, and do just like Tina said. So I will put together that in a video format. If it's not today, it's coming. I feel like I put a lot on today's list.
I will admit that under my work table, under this table that my computer is currently sitting on, I have tubs of eBay stuff that needs to be listed. And I will admit, I'm not always super organized, because it's like I'm in the middle of a workflow. It's like I don't have time to go put that away. So currently over there in that corner, I do have a big cardboard box where I'm just like throwing crap in there that needs to be listed on eBay. Yeah. Is that structured or overly organized? But I mean, it is all designated to a box.
That's what it comes down to. And I have found, out of all the things that I've packed over the years, whether it's glass or food or breakables or potato chips or, coloring books or whatever, the system is very similar on how you take it out, you get it organized, you line it up, you put it in a batch, you have these steps. And so I have listed those steps out, because now when I'm training my packers, that was helpful because I'm like, it's the same process. We're going to get the item. We're going to make one good one to see how it gets packed up. Because sometimes you don't know. You go and you buy a new product and you're like, well, how do I pack this? What's the best way to pack it? Sometimes we have to play. We have to get a couple different boxes out and say, is a 4x4x4 good, or do we want to do a 4x6? We have some standard boxes that we use. How much bubble wrap? Even that's down. Like, we'll all agree 2 sheets is good or 3 sheets is good. So that we're consistent across the board on
And
packing
then
it.
sometimes I group things together. So I generally want to start with the biggest items first because I want the bulk of it out of my space. It's like I like room to work in. So let's say if it's big things, I get that done and get it out. If it's, say, clothing, I try to do all the clothing together. Or if it's all, say, dishes and breakables, I try to put like items with like, just for ease of flow of what we're doing. If there are things that can be case packed, if I have 47 of a thing, I will then try to do an inventory lab batch of case packs. So that way I know all 47 can go in one box, call it a shipment, tape it up, send that one out as a case pack. I just want whatever's going to be fastest and to get the most out in the biggest chunks of time. And then I save the most difficult things for last usually. So if it's glass that needs to be wrapped, or if it's things that I need to still make listings for, those things always get saved for the end. And again, it's because I want to get out as much as I can as quickly as I can. And things that have to be bubble wrapped or listings that have to be made, these are things that are time suck items. And so, and again, I like space. I cannot work in chaos. It drives me crazy. So when I'm having to focus on things like that, the wrapping, the making, the listing, I feel like I can think better when my space is more clear.
Definitely. Christelle says, I have to list an inventory lab every day as items ship in. Doing it in one day is too overwhelming for me. I'm a one-man show.
I was a one-man show for a long time, and I did it in my living room and on my dining room table in the beginning. So it's like my space was really limited and I didn't want to see the crap.
Yep. Well, and I some things that come in are going to be listed when they come in, but when I do my ordering, I try to make my inventory lab batch. So that way, because you're already sitting in front of it, you already have the ASIN, usually your cost of goods. So it's easy to just copy and paste. When I get to that order final page where it's like, here's your order summary, that's when I just go through and I pop it in. And even if it's just quantity 1, at least it's in that batch. And when it comes in, you kind of have it all prepped up, ready for yourself. I have a question here from San Cruz. Are small and light items prepped and shipped any different from other products sent to Amazon? Nope.
Prepped the same. They're just smaller and lighter. And you want to make sure you enroll them in that.
Yes. And so I have twice a week I've been enrolling and definitely helps. What's your next question?
Our next question was Caitlin really wanted an ASD recap. New vendors we love, new bundle ideas, connections from anyone in this group. Did we survive the heat?
It was close. Yes, it was touch and go on Saturday for me.
Yeah.
Let's see here. ASD recap. We felt that there was probably about the same amount of people as in March, wouldn't you say? I didn't feel like
there's a lot less vendors and a lot less people attending the last 2 ASD shows. ASD used to be much bigger, more vendors than there have been the last few shows, but still plenty of vendors to shop from. So I'm still always happy, and it's less overwhelming because not as many people attend.
Yeah.
Connections, yes, we got to meet several people from our group, and I was thrilled with that. It's always so nice. Like Brandy, who's in the chat, we met and hung out with Brandy and Heather, and who's my friend here, Jackson.
Jackson's in Vegas.
Yeah.
And then the couple that came in from, they came in from the Midwest, but I can't remember their names off the top of my head. And Karen, of course.
Yes.
Or she has another name. We'll keep that to ourselves for right now. Let's see here. AWAS. That was my husband used to work for AWAS, so that's how I'm pronouncing it. I have listed 7 ASINs and my price is $2 above the buy box price and it's almost 20 days and I have zero sales, if you're $2 above the buy box price, that's probably why you're not getting the sales.
Yeah.
The sales are going to be favored to the person with the cheapest price. That's going to naturally go to them. And I don't know what else to tell you. If I have something for sale for 15 and you have it for 17, I'm going to get the buy box. Repricer, you could do a repricer or come down. I don't know what else to tell you there. Hold out. You can hold out if you want. Look at the Keepa charts. There are some things that, once that person sells out, then the buy box is going to be to you. But if they restock and they, replenish their item and they're still $2 less than you, you're not going to do it. You're not going to get it. Let's see here. FBM, any shipping suggestions to save money? I'm getting free boxes, but sometimes shipping is killing my profit. Sendle. I use Sendle to get cheaper shipping on certain things. And then just your weight. Some boxes are double walled and some boxes are single walled. So make sure you're using the box that is lightest, because if you're kind of creeping up around that 15, 16 ounces and you go up to 1 pound and a few ounces, the shipping is much, much different. And then just make sure you have all the options available to you in your shipping settings. Like I have all the USPS options, UPS options, FedEx options, and especially going into Q4, sometimes FedEx sending a large Squishmallow is going to be way cheaper on FedEx or UPS than it is through USPS. So you want to make sure that your options are all.
And ultimately, if you're losing money, then you're not priced right. I mean, ultimately, it comes to your pricing. And if you're newer at selling, maybe you just haven't, figured out the approximate shipping costs for the things that you are getting. But I mean, the bottom line is that your price needs to be higher.
Go into, I'll bring up my my shipping settings really quick here, but in your, let's see here, that's not going to work. I got to do a copy thing.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of things over a pound from home. I have a few that I do, but I also have my prices higher on those.
So right here, I don't, all I see is Facebook page. Right here, this is what you want to work on. You probably have it set at the default $4.99 plus 50 cents per pound, and you'll lose money on that when things are $1.50 pounds. So go ahead and fix that. I added, I may up it again because we have more fees increasing coming, but up it so that it's priced $4.99 plus $4.99 per pound instead of the 50 cents per pound. And that will be a huge difference if you are not set that way. Recommend any cheaper prep center? No, I don't have any prep centers that I would recommend that I know the prices of. I know Kimmy, and I don't know Kimmy's business name. Precision Prep. She has decent prices, and I know she's pretty good. Trying to think the other dude that I work with. I forget his name, but it's FBA Insiders, and I know they run a prep center as well. I don't know if they're taking new customers, and those are the two prep centers that I know, and I know that they're not going to like screw you. But as far as the other ones, you're going to have to go to a board, go to like Hustle Buddies or even our Facebook group and ask what a good prep center is, because that's what I'd do. I just go there and I'd find out who people are recommending right now, and then that's what I would give you.
Because I once tried a prep center and it was a horrible, horrible experience. So it definitely made me scared of a prep center. But I'm probably not scared anymore. I just wouldn't use them.
Yeah. I debated with that versus doing my own thing. And since I do so many custom bundles and there's 3 or 4 items and their price structure for custom things that require assembly and storage and everything was not going to make it worth it. If you're just doing a one and done, or like you just do shoes and you just do shoes, like that's pretty easy peasy, then prep centers make more sense. Good morning, ladies. Good morning, Lana. When will your course come out? We're working on it. And I know in one of my videos, I had said maybe October 1st. And that's a maybe. It will be before before Black Friday. That's like hard deadline. But one, we are not going to put out anything that we haven't tested. And we have several tests. We've got 3 people that are testing out the instructions on what you write to Amazon. And that's the part that we absolutely would not release something that didn't work. And while we have done it, it has been over a year, right? It's been like a year and a half since we have battled Amazon. And you know how it is when you're battling Amazon. I could send one thing in and be approved right away, but then you do it and you do the same thing that I do and it not get approved. It happens with invoices all the time. It happens with POAs. It happens with all sorts of stuff. So we want to have concrete, like, this is how you start. And if it doesn't work, you do this. And if it doesn't work, you do this. And if it doesn't work, you do this. And how to navigate them, because they are utterly stupid. It seems like the Seller Central hive mind has gone downhill even further, even further. And I have one guy who they literally have GS1 barcodes, and he wanted to get brand approval and cannot get it. And they keep saying, oh, we see you're applying for brand registration. You need to use a brand registration thing. I'm like, no, that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing. So it's going to require a lot of wine to get through.
I see you answering questions. Thank you.
Yes. So we are in the midst of doing that. In the meantime, we are filming that. And I am also logging all of the issues we are currently having with Amazon in general. Like, if you are scanning and using the app on your phone, it's really glitchy right now. Every once in a while it just starts to freak out and it's like, and then it pops up to the last thing you scanned.
Yeah, mine does that daily.
No reason. Oh yeah, all the time. And I'm going, what? That's a new fun thing. And then I have had numerous problems with listing, with using the variation listing, with flat file feeds. In fact, on my list is to call them again, because I literally made a variation listing. I made it from scratch, such and such with these children, made it, and then one came off. And I'm like, okay, flat file it back on. And they're saying that it's in different subcategories. No, it's not. I literally listed it all together. I couldn't have subcategorized it if I wanted to. And so it's the struggle is real. And we are not, if we wanted to bang out something that was just, glossing over the things on how to, we could easily do that. But
yeah, and I'm in the process of helping a friend do brand approval the way that I did it. And I'm also doing that for our course, but Amazon takes forever to approve it. Sometimes that's the good sign, like when they first spit back to you a couple of times that you're denied, and then you're waiting. You know how it always says pending Amazon's, It seemed like mine sat in that for 3 weeks before mine was approved. So there is a time. And so I just want to test the way that I did it is still working, because when I did mine, it was a little over a year ago. And as we know, Amazon changes the rules all the time. So I some of these things, before I go telling you, do it like this, because this is how I did it over a year ago, and then it not work today. I don't want that to happen. So I am in the process of helping somebody else get their brand done, so I can make sure that these steps are still true today.
Yes. Let's answer a couple of the questions in the chat, and then I want to talk about the bundle group really quick. Jose says, how much should you add for shipping when doing FBM? This is literally my settings right there, Jose. Take a screenshot. I do $4.99 plus $4.99 per pound. I might keep this like it is and then see how it does with the up shipping. It's October 1st, right? They up the shipping.
Yeah, I think so.
And I didn't look to see if it's going to be significant or not. If it's not significant, I'll keep it, and then just will be priced a little bit higher. If it isn't, then I will raise it by 50 cents.
Yeah, and I made a video walking through setting your shipping settings and how to do it last month, I think.
Yeah. Tina's video was very good. Go check out her. And if you haven't subscribed, go subscribe to her. We've got Apuli says, my items are in the fulfillment transfer center for weeks upon weeks. My shipments used to go to 2 to 3 warehouses, and that was great. Yes, I've had that issue too. My stuff is forever in transit. Yeah. That's why I'm trying to get all of my Halloween out. I thought I did, and I found 2 items this morning. I'm like, Got all my
I mean,
Halloween
sometimes
out.
it is nice for ease when we get to ship it to one warehouse. But then sometimes I think, well, maybe it would be better to pay for more shipping labels and have them divided again, so it's not in this, pending transfer forever.
Well, I find even if I go to a different center, it's still fulfillment center transfers on me. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever, Amazon. What is a good way to store log your receipts? I use
We've covered
Inventory Lab
this
as
several
well.
times in the past.
Say what?
I said we've covered this topic several
Yeah.
times in the past about storing and logging
So it will
receipts.
be a quick answer because we've covered it so much. Tina uses electronic. What's the name of the software you use?
HubDoc. I
HubDoc. She
store
uses
mine in
HubDoc.
HubDoc. Mm-hmm.
I use an envelope. I use an envelope that I get at the Dollar Tree. You get like 10 of them. It lasts me almost all year. And I put my receipts in there. And on the outside, I mark the month and the year. And then I put them into, I just did it there. I just moved into the back, but I put them into a large manila envelope with all of my documents for that month. And I just do it that way. And I have banker boxes in the office that
I
keep.
use HubDoc, and then the paper ones, after I've taken their photo and stored it into HubDoc, which is uploaded to my accounting software, it then goes in a file folder by month.
Somebody says Keepa browser plugin can tell you the inventory levels on most sellers. Yep, that's in your settings on Keepa. It's a nice little feature. You got to turn it on though. Will the course show exactly how to make a listing?
Yes.
Oh yeah. That's step by step, both for variations, and that also will be addressed because there are they added new steps recently within the last 3 months that you have to have your dimensions and some other fields filled out. So we do want to make sure that we cover
always
all
filled
the
those
new
out
stuff.
anyway. So it's funny that they're making you do it now, and I've always done it.
Yeah, it's silly. And then different categories sometimes will have a few different fields, so we will address all of that. Kayleen says, I've been denied twice for brand approval, applied for the third time, and still waiting. Ugh. And are you working with Tina, Kayleen? Because I'd be interested to hear on the process that you used so that we know, because we're doing it one way and maybe there is another way. Maybe we're doing it the same way. But if you wouldn't mind, if we could pick your brain later, message us on Facebook.
Yeah, because no, that's not anybody I'm currently working with.
Okay. Do you sell wholesale model or OA? Both?
Mm-hmm.
Both. All right. So let's talk about the Bolo group real quick, just on an update of where we are. We have received quite a few signups, which is awesome. Tina has structured the Facebook groups, and good morning, Karen. And if you have signed up, and I'll say prior to the last 24 hours, you should have been added to a group. If you just signed up, I haven't checked my email this morning, but if you just signed up, then we haven't gotten to you yet. We're probably a good 24 to 48 hours from the time you buy to us getting you processed. But we have set up the structure for processing. The VAs are ready to go. That has already been set up. And we have kind of said hello in the groups. So if you are in the Facebook thing, you should be in your Facebook group by now. If you have not, reach out to Tina.
Yeah, only half of the people that I sent the invite are actually in the groups and I made a quick video in our Facebook group. So this is really, really important for anyone watching who has actually signed up and you are not actually got the Facebook invite to be in a group. You need to reach out to me through Messenger. When I set up these Facebook groups, I set them to be very private. So that way, outsiders can't get into the group. And by me doing this, it's made your invite link not work correctly unless your email was your actual email attached to Facebook. And most of us don't have the same emails. We have multiple email accounts. So you didn't sign up with your email on Facebook. So I'm having to manually put you in. So you need to send me a message in Messenger through our Facebook group so I can put you in, because I want to say there's like 14 people that I added a few days ago who still haven't reached out, who definitely aren't in there, even though they've been invited to be to the group. So if you've paid for it and you're not assigned to your group in Facebook, you need to reach out to me. I have a thread in there. So you can keep it all neat in that thread rather than making a new post or just send me a message in Messenger.
Yes. So we are, and that's why we started early. That's why we're like, we want to start early because we know there's bugs. Oh my God,
Yep.
there's bugs in everything.
And since it
So-
officially starts September 14th, this gives me time to make sure everyone is where they're supposed to be. And if you are currently in a group, I've already made a few postings, and I will make some postings, you know, for some deals that come up that I see before we're officially launched, because I mean, why not?
Yeah. So we definitely want to start like showing, just sharing things, getting to know you.
I saw your message, Brandy. I'll connect with you today.
Andy or Kayleen?
Brandy, I just saw messaged me.
Oh, okay.
It must have been private. I just saw it pop up on the computer.
Yes, okay. So 2 people asked if there's still room to get involved. I did the links there, but they're kind of like the longer links. I hope you guys can click on them. Let me know.
There is still room. Yeah, there is still room. Because we were making it into like 2 separate groups, and group 1 is I think already full. So we have some room in group 2. And it is filling up fast. I know, like I said, Lucy had more signups, and Lucy gets the signups on, you know, through the Gumroad account, and then she's copy and pasting it onto a spreadsheet for me. And I'm the one that's actually taking care of adding you and placing you and getting it started.
You do know that you can log into those too.
I know that I can, but it's like, I like the system. It's like,
that's fine. And Tina and I have to do that with a lot of our work because like we don't want to do the same work. That's why we have a partnership. And so we try to divide up the work.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm in charge of receiving the things and tracking and putting it in there. And then she's in charge of assigning to the groups. And then I'll be in charge of paying the VAs. So anyhow, we divide it up so that we're not both doing the same thing. What is your YouTube account name so that they can watch you, Tina?
Yes, I will copy and paste it. And then for Lana, those of you who were not on in the very beginning, I change my name every week here on Friday because I'm silly like that, and I think it's fun. So Lucy made fun of me that I own Crocs because they're hideous, ugly shoes. And I told her I really do have them and that I was going to wear them today. These are my Pepto-Bismol pink Crocs.
Right. I have linked our Gumroad things to sign up, and I have linked Tina's channel. Go sign up for Tina. Please, please, please. We are trying to get her up to 1,000 so that she can get monetized and get paid for doing all her work on her videos. And anyway, we'll move back on to questions.
Lucy, because, you know, Lucy has more energy than me or something. I'm just like, it takes me forever to keep up with all the things I already do. But I do make videos. I do make them.
Yes. Getting to the Captain Crunch. I haven't forgotten you. I'm searching on the other side. A lot of times when I'm clicking over here, it's because I'm working. Okay, we did that one. Which company do you recommend for Amazon reimbursements for seller loss? I use Seller Bench. You use
Seller Locker.
Seller Locker. So I have had no issues with mine. I think they're relatively the same. I do like my contact over there. He's very nice, and he's there when I need him. And that's
you get assigned a person with me. It's the same. I think they're all pretty much the same setup, and I like it.
Yeah. Brandy asked if there's rules. Yeah, the rules are in if you click the link, you can look over the rules for minimum ROI, categories, all that good stuff. Can you explain again what you guys are bringing to your Q4, please? When you said separate groups, what do you mean? Okay. I will take on this. So we don't want to really have any more than 20 people in a group, but we have had more than 20 people that want to sign up for both a VA driven group and group leads driven group. So we are going to make 2 of each, which each will have no more than 20 people in there. We estimate that it will be between 15 and 20 people in each one. Brandy says she saw $3 criteria. Yeah, $3 profit. Go read them, Brandy. They're out there. There's a whole list of the criteria of
yeah, I need to copy and paste it into the Facebook group still, because I know it's on the page where you sign up on Gumroad, but I do want to
put it in the rules and everything there
into the Facebook groups. You know, that is on my to-do list.
Yep. For those 2 groups, we are allowing, like, if you want to do the VA driven group and you want to do a lead driven group, you can do both, But as far as having 2 groups in each of those, you can't join like all 4 groups. Only Tina and I will be in all 4 groups, and that way, when you contribute to your group, it's only going to the 20 people in that group. It won't go over to the other group. So when I add like I went in and added some bolos from Trader Joe's that I'm going to be looking out for coming up this week. I added different ones to each group because it's not going to be the same leads in all of the groups.
Otherwise, that wouldn't make any sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've posted a few things in the different groups, that have people in them. And what I posted in one wasn't in the other, with the exception of one thing. But when I posted it, I said, I'm also going to post this in the other group.
Right. And things like if we see 20% off, or if we see, Rakuten is doing a special or something, those will go to all the groups because everybody wants to know about that. But as far as actual leads, those are going to be staying in the group. Mm-hmm. All right. We have some more things going on. Weird Keepa question. Sometimes I see a green rank drops going up and down, but there's no sellers. I get confused if I should buy. Is this a glitch issue because of the variations on a listing? But no sellers? That is weird. But I see weird Keepa graphs all the time.
Yeah, I see weird glitches too, like where in fact, there's 2 items I sell where, the rank was crazy. It showed the sellers, and then it's like how it stops. And then from everything past that, it's white on Keepa. Like it just blank, no sellers, no nothing. And, it's like Amazon just doesn't share that information or something, because these are 2 items I still sell when I can find them. And it's not anything that's an IP complaint. It's not like, Amazon now has the brand restricted, which is often the case on weird Keepa graphs like that. So there are some that are just glitchy, and I don't know if it's coming from Amazon's not sharing it. I don't know, because Amazon shares that data, right? To like Keepa. It's all that AI stuff. However,
I'm not sure if they necessarily share. It's available on their back end. Scott says his guess is that it comes into stock and immediately sells out. That could be it too. I agree with that. That's a good that's a good guess. Pete, well, hold on. Did I see? Okay. One question up here that I missed. Is it very hard to get approval from a brand to sell their products on Amazon? Like straight up approval working with a brand? Sure, because a lot of people that own companies and own their own brand are nervous working with an Amazon seller. Most of the people we work with are distributors, and they work with the brand themselves, and then they distribute out X products over many different brands, and we buy from them. So, you don't necessarily get brand approval from a brand. I think I have 1 or 2 brand approvals in my lifetime that I get. I also look at IP companies that are big on IP claims, and I don't source or get those.
Right.
Stay away from those. PM Porter says, are we able to group people according to regions or states? Not really. And we really only have 20 people per group. So the chances that there's going to be a high amount in one area is really low. But you know what? If you have any, like, let's say you join your group and you're like, oh my God, I don't like this group for X reason. We'll just pop you over to the other group and swap you out. That's how we'll handle that. But, please be nice. Most of our people here, in fact, I don't think we've ever really had any jerks that have joined our group.
Super nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's been really nice. And I honestly sometimes like it when I have somebody in my area, because I just message them and I'm like, okay, you take north, I'll take south, or do you want to scan together? I've gone scanning with people at stores.
Me too. I've gone scanning with people, and if we're at the same store together, we kind of split the cart, we'll shop, and it's like, okay, well, you and I did that when you came out here.
Yeah, we went to Walgreens and got Squishmallows. We went to
Walgreens and wiped out Squishmallows, and I was like, okay, there's 5 of these, you take 2, I'll take 3, because then the other one you get this one, and we just balanced it out to where it was fair and even, and
Yeah.
And then it's fun because then you're not shopping all by yourself. Or
Mhm.
I have a friend that lives in Henderson, and she doesn't do Amazon quite as hard as I do, but she might find a deal and she'll say, oh, go to your Walmart's on your side of town and see if they have these. And it's great.
Yeah, I've split like Tina just described, and I've also gone in the store and said, okay, which section do you want? And I'll take a different section. So maybe they
Mhm.
take women's clothes and I take men's clothes,
Yeah.
or just categorize it up. It, I really feel there's enough sales out there that don't be worried about sharing it. It's like you're fighting. You're going to have 10,000 sales for Squishmallows. There's no reason to fight with Tina over the 30 we found at Walgreens.
And Scott, that's so funny. I know they are so comfortable, the Crocs. And I bought these last summer. Do I think they're cute? No, of course I don't think they're cute. But me and my mother, we were swimming like 3 days a week in her pool. And it's like, and then I don't have a pool at my house. So I drive to my mom's down the street, go swimming, and would drive home. It's like I can put my wet feet and be wet in these Crocs. I can go outside and do yard work and I can hose them down. And they're great for that. They're great. And I will continue to wear them, Lucy.
I will
What
say
else
I
have
have
you
not
brought?
tried on a pair of Crocs other than my husband had a pair, and so it wasn't the right size or anything. But no, no, and I get on my son too. Sometimes he wears like Nike slide on slides, and he'll wear socks with them, and I'm like, knock it off. My son will not wear socks with sandals. That's just terrible, terrible. Jose says, are Squishmallows good for resale this Q4? Depends which ones, for
Probably,
sure.
probably yes. But one thing I will point out with the Squishmallows, for those of you who sell them, I'm sure you've already noticed, is now every single Squishmallow I submit, I'm getting the policy compliant. They want the paperwork for it now. Very few do
Mhm.
I have listed that doesn't now pop up in my account. So I don't send them in to Amazon anymore. I've been listing mine merchant fulfilled.
Yeah, that's a good recommendation right there. I think I do have some that did pop up with things. And what happens, so just so it's good to understand the why. Amazon before Q4 will go through and they flag and they will target some brands or categories. They did a big one targeting toys specifically. I want to say they did Squishmallows, and there was another big one. I want to say it was Disney. So they did a significant chunk of Disney and Squishmallows. Did they do them all? No. Did they do 50%, 80%? I'm not quite sure. And they will flag all those, ask for compliance paperwork. Everybody scrambles around. Some will get submitted, some won't. And I'm just kind of waiting until that chunk of wave is done, and then boom, you will see all the sales coming up. So in November, you probably won't have that issue going on. Somebody says there's a data tab on Keepa that you can dig into specific data about each variation.
Yes. Yeah,
Yep.
there's a lot of good information in Keepa when you get clicking buttons and exploring the depths of Keepa. Very true, Scott.
Jose says if you do FBM, you don't get the compliance request.
You
Is that
do.
true?
You still get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still get the policy compliance. It's just that the way I look at it is that if I send it into Amazon, transit time to get to Amazon takes however long. By the time it's at Amazon active, a lot of time has passed. It could be 2 weeks. If I have it listed merchant fulfilled, I can flip it faster and sell it faster.
Hmm. Yeah, and that's the same. And in Q4, I literally am buying things, and within 2 weeks, they are gone, done, deleted. I am out. I don't. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's very fast paced, so you don't have time to worry about it. It's like, oh, your compliance paperwork's due in January. Okay,
yeah.
I'm going to be done and gone, so I don't care. Somebody had asked earlier about Captain Crunch. I wanted to look it up because we've got the Captain Crunch. What are they? They're not blueberries. They are Ghost Turn Milk Green Halloween Crunch. With these types of seasonal things, they can be really good and lucrative. You can see this one is going for $21. It's a bit high on the rank. Bit high. Not saying that that's bad. It's just a bit high, so maybe not go in too deep. Certain ones will definitely be better than others, and recently, like things that are TikTok famous seem to have rank that will get ranked up real quick.
Yeah, there was sour candy last year because it was a challenge. Could you eat the
Yeah.
sour candy? And then my candy supplier said they had it. I ordered it and I never got it. And then it was on back order. Needless to say, I never got the candy.
And then it was the turkey dinner. There was a bunch of
Oh
videos on the
yeah,
turkey
those come out.
dinner too.
Yeah, I wonder if it'll come out again this year. I've never found them. I did make an order online for them for in-store pickup, and then I drove to the wrong side of town to the wrong store.
Hi, Nate and Elizabeth, and you are welcome, Jose. I found the turkey ones, I think once. I found maybe 4 bags, and this is where you go, and it pays to go talk to the people on the ground. I talked to them, and they said, "Oh my gosh, we have people that like camp out the Walgreens in your area, and as soon as we unload them, we just don't even put them on the shelf. We just give them to them."
I don't even
And I'm
want them
like,
that bad.
yeah, and I'm going, "Oh my God, I don't have." If I had the time and the effort, I could be there, but I'm like, I got to get my kid to school or whatever the reason was.
Yeah,
I
the
could
profit
not.
on them isn't high enough for that. Not
Yeah. Yeah. If I was, that's another thing. Money motivates me very much. So, yeah. Yeah. I'm bringing up the Captain Crunch sales real quick, just so that if you are looking at this type of stuff, you can see here. It looks like it was out of stock for a long time and it just started getting in stock. And then last year it only had a few drops too. So I personally wouldn't do this listing, but that's not to say that you aren't. If you bought like 6 and you did 3 2-packs, you'd probably sell them. Would you sell them all overnight? Probably not, but depending on the expiration date, it could
yeah. In my
sell.
experience, the cereal bundles are always kind of like meh, and a lot of times
Yeah.
I ended up not selling them because they get flooded. I pull
Yeah.
them, and then I'm eating cereal.
Let's see here. Karen says you guys talked about loans through Amazon.
Hmm.
I have not Googled it, but how do you know how to apply? It's on your seller dashboard.
Yeah.
It's not on Google. I Google everything, and that's like one of the things that you can't Google. You need to go to your dashboard, and
Yeah.
it is under at
If
the
you're on your
top.
first page, there's, if I recall,
Yes,
you'll
but if
see
you
it in there.
don't
It always pops up.
have it on your first page, it's under growth and then lending.
Mm.
Reese's pumpkins. Oh, you know what? My husband bought me one of Reese's pumpkin today, so I have a Friday treat. I love Reese's. I'm not as big of a fan as the pumpkins, as the chocolate to peanut butter ratio is not my taste. But let's see, let's pull this up, add to stream. We've got, I think this is the one that he brought me. We've got, ooh, somebody did a nice little pack. I love this little bundle.
Look at, I'm already feeling hungry, and then that just makes me want candy.
I know.
That's the hardest part about sourcing food, or when I'm searching food online. It's like, even if I wasn't hungry, I become hungry. It's like, ooh, that does sound good.
Yeah, I was looking at chocolates the other night, just tons of chocolates, and I'm like, oh, so good. Looks so tasty. Ooh, this caught my eye. Brock's, you got candy corn, autumn, and pumpkins. Ooh, that's going really good for 17. That's a Walgreens
But
find
giving
right
away
there.
one of my bundles.
246. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've sold this bundle.
Have you sold this one?
I'm pretty
Make $3 if you pay 6. You've got to find it on the Walgreens, like the 2 for 4, 2 for 6. I'll keep my eye out for that one. Okay, I have other questions on my list over here.
And Elizabeth, I tried calling you yesterday. I didn't see your text until this morning, but Lucy already answered it.
Yes. Oh, and I was donating last night and trying to do it one-handed, and I was getting frustrated. It was anyhow. She was asked. In fact, that's one of the questions here.
Yeah,
So
I think that's a good one to answer for people.
yes. Okay. Let me find it. Okay. Video on CPSC documentation, which is child safety document. I don't remember what all that it all stands for. What about the test reports that are supposed to coincide with the safety certificate, and how would you go about getting that from the manufacturer? Okay, so this is my take on getting any compliance paperwork. first, you're going to go to your good old Google. You're going to type in the brand, the product. Let's say it's Meyer's cleaning spray. It's Bath and Body Works shower gel. It's anything that's over the counter that any one of us could buy. You will type in that name and then the document you're looking for. If it's an SDS, an MSDS, a CSPC, ABC, whatever the heck it is, you're going to do that. And you're going to have to dig. It may pop up first go. It may take some digging. And you're going to have to look at these compliance documents and take a look and see if that's what Amazon is asking for. Second way, you go to the brand's website. Sometimes the brands will have documents on their website under safety, compliance, etc. Sometimes they do. Like Lego has all of their safety compliance in their Lego. You just type in the number and boom, you can get it downloaded, uploaded, and you're done. If it's a cleaning and a spray or whatnot, the way MSDSs work is if you run a business and you use those chemical products, you are supposed to have the MSDSs on file. So these are not documents that are like secret of any sort. If you go to Walmart and they use mopping stuff to clean the floors at night, they will have the MSDS for that mopping stuff because their employees use it. And if there's a safety concern, they need to have the MSDS to follow the safety recommendations for any spills, emergency, etc. Now, if you've tried Google and you've tried the brand website, the next thing is you can email either the brand and or the distributor. So if you buy your stuff through a distributor, they should have the safety compliance stuff on file, whether that's toy, testing, whatever. If you email the brand, sometimes they're like, why do you want it? And you can make something up or you can be honest. It's safety compliance. And some of these things, the brands were not required to have prior to a specific year. When we were talking to Wild Republic on safety compliance paperwork for stuffed animals, I believe they said it was prior or it is after 2008, I want to say, but don't quote my memory here.
And
but they
it
said
costs them
after
a bunch
X
of money
date.
per toy to do this too.
Say what?
And I remember them saying how much it costs them to do
Yeah.
per toy. Like these companies spend a lot of money
I think it was
to
$3,000.
have these regulated.
Yeah, I think they said it was $3,000 to have all of the safety paperwork done going forward, and they sell directly on the Amazon now, and so they do all the safety compliance paperwork and they have it. But it was like there was a year that it became required, and it wasn't super long ago. It was within the last 10 years going on. Husband messaged me. I thought it might be important. It was not important. Anyhow, if you have messaged and called the brand owner and the manufacturer, they're either going to say, yes, we have it and we're going to give it to you. Yes, we have it. We're not going to give it to you. Or no, we don't have it and we don't plan on getting it. At that point, your choices are to get it, pay for it yourself, or get off the listing. I mean, really, that's what it comes down to. And so my stuff that was on Wild Republic, that was Wild Republic items, I had to recall them and sell them over on eBay. That's what I had to do because I was not going to pay hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to have this paperwork done for a few stuffed animals. That just was not good. If you're doing private label and you're doing your own stuffed animals and you're going into the stuffed animal business, get familiar with a lab and get the testing done. But if that's not your business model, then
and a lot of the factories in China, Alibaba, are certified to do that if they make your toys. So
yes,
we're jumping down a whole nother rabbit hole of private label.
yeah, and that's how you go about doing it. And sometimes it does take some digging. I have a product that I wound up becoming friends with the guy at the lab that tests the products. And so I just emailed him and I'm like, I need the testing documents for batch, blah, 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 blah. And he sent them to me. And it's because I called and I said, hi, my name is, I'm super sweet. I'm super nice. I just want this paperwork. Can you please help me out? Don't be a jerk about it. Don't be a jerk. You're trying to get somebody to get something for you and you want to be sweet as pie. But now I have a contact at the lab to get me whatever paperwork I want going forward for these products. It pays to be. what is it? You get more bees with honey than, or are we getting flies? I can't remember how that one goes. You get more flies with honey than you do with.
I've always thought you get a lot of flies with poop
Yeah, but I think you're supposed to
in
get
the
honey,
backyard if you have
honey
a
and
dog.
bees. Oh my gosh. Okay, moving on. Do you guys buy the chocolate now and hold, or sell it starting October 15th FBM? You can sell chocolate anytime. That's only for FBA.
That's right.
Also,
But you want to make sure you are going to be packing it with like little ice packs
mhm.
and in a nice bag that keeps it cold inside. Because if your customer gets it melted, they're not going to be happy. You might live in a state where it's not really warm anymore in September. For me here in my city, we still have 100-degree temperatures for the greater part of the month of September. So if it's mailed to me, it's going to be melted. So if I were to find it on sale right now for a really great price and I want to send it in to Amazon, sure, I would buy it and hold it as long as the expiration date isn't close to expiring.
Yes, so I believe that was the second part is the expiration date. For FBM fulfilled items, I am not taking anything before January of next year. And that's for very seasonal, like the customer is going to use it now, not
Yeah,
hold it. Like if I sent you a bag of chocolates, I would not expect you to be eating it in February.
yeah,
That to me is a little unreasonable. So I am looking at January. When I get into November, my expectations is until March. I feel that people are going to get it in November, maybe give it out at Christmas, and to have a January expiration date, that's a little uncomfortable for me. I want it to be out in
yeah.
March.
And most of us are eating that holiday candy during the holidays. And people who don't, I don't understand you.
I don't know what's wrong with him. Although I'm eating reject
I have
candy
a
from last year
sweet
that didn't get
tooth.
shipped right.
Hmm.
Thank you. I'm beginning to dive into food and grocery after many years FBA. Your feedback and info is appreciated. You are welcome, Scott. You are welcome. All right, we just got a couple more questions here. Somebody says they're going to retire to Puerto Rico. Nice. I agree. Mail can be iffy. Do you enter shipping cost, or is that the calculation? This is for FBM. For FBM, you're going to associate your product with a template, and in your template, that has your costs built in. Mine is $4.99 plus $4.99 per pound extra, and I can't remember if I said I shipped to Puerto Rico or is it Guam that I
We
don't
don't
ship.
do Guam, but I do
Guam.
Puerto Rico and Alaska, and I do the military.
Somebody asks how to cancel a draft application for ungating. One, I don't. I probably have 100 open.
I have a lot open, but you can just open a case and say,
Yeah,
please close this
you have to.
application. And sometimes it's good to do that because then you can apply again, say a year later and possibly get approved.
You can just click on the application and it will redo that. You don't have to do the application again, but
Yeah.
you can. And that's what I recommend when you're trying to get ungated, go and do those drafts. And then every day, or not every day, every week, go into those drafts, re-click them and see if you get any auto approved. Now I have oodles of drafts that the product's just no longer on Amazon. So the draft just goes to like, oh, we don't know what you're talking about. And I need to go close those. And the only way you can close them is with a case. You just make a case, please close, draft application, and there's probably an ID associated with it. What is your main address? What is your address, main sourcing method, OARA, proper wholesale business, etc.? Also, please guide what are the chances of success if I choose proper wholesale method like buying directly from authorized distributors and brands? Huh?
Yes.
We do a little bit of all of that. And your chances of success, I guess, are as good as anybody's. Define success. Define success. Are we millionaires? No. Are we paying our bills? Yes. Do we have struggles? Absolutely.
I identify with being a millionaire. Does that count?
I would love to identify with being a millionaire. Is it something that people fail at? Sure, but people fail at everything and they succeed at everything.
Yeah.
There's somebody out there that's like 12 years old making $1 billion on TikTok. Can I do that? I don't know, maybe. Such
So
a broad
true.
question.
So true.
Jose says, can Be Cool reprice FBM to match buy box? Yeah,
Yes,
it can.
it can do that if you set your settings that way.
Okay, this one I don't know if I got to read this one. So this is off of resale certificate for Staples. I live in New York and faxed them my certificate, but got an email saying that's not enough and approved them with a letter of organization letterhead stating the reason for exemption, including federal ID number and authorized signature, or New York State Department of Taxation and Finance exemption letter. Any tips? You could do that. Doing letterhead is really super simple.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the Google and type in Google Doc templates, and I got myself a business letterhead eons ago, and I could just add whatever I want. Now I have an official business letterhead.
Yeah, and articles of organization are usually part of an LLC. And I didn't even have those. My son works for a law firm, and he's in charge of doing the LLC paperwork. So I just had him whip me one up when I needed it.
Yeah, so I would just go through and do a letter. Are they
And a lot
asking
of
for a
it you
letter
can
of
do online
organization or a
yourself.
letterhead?
Yeah, and there are template sites with the templates that you can just they're what do you call editable PDFs that you can change it to say the information that you need.
Yeah. And that's silly. I mean, Staples is being silly with you. And then just other people saying that their app is glitchy, like we talked about.
Oh yeah, the app is ridiculous.
It's
It's
just
really
being,
it gets on my nerves.
it does. Do we have any other questions on your thread?
Nope.
The Facebook thread. Okay. Do we have any other questions in the chat? I'm going to look real quick. Where the heck was it? Oh, there we go. I've got a lot of tabs open as usual. Okay. I wanted to share with you just one last thing. So this is your last time to get in questions for today. If not, you can catch us next Friday. But Tina had an issue this week, and I learned it as well. She went to go print FBA labels on the Amazon, FBA shipment page, and it said it printed, and then it didn't print. So she needed to go reprint them. And do you want to describe the button?
So yes, I thought I was printing off my FBA box labels, and it just jumped to the next page as if I already printed them out and had my shipping tracking information. And so I called Lucy in a panic. Lucy, how do I get back here and get my labels? Oh my God, I need to get this box out. And as I'm talking to her, if you click on, you have your shipment name. If it's, I tend to name mine, but it could be that day's date. Whatever your shipment name is will be in blue letters, and it's actually a clickable link. When you click your shipment's name, it takes you back to the page where you printed your shipping label, and you can just print it right there as if it was the first time. So it was super easy to do. But yes, I did have a panic attack.
But you had to click on the shipment name. There used to be a button for it, and now they don't have the
I
button.
could not find any button.
It's just clicking the shipment name, and it goes right back into that page where you can schedule and print out and see the item contents and all of that. So I tell you, they move the buttons around on me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, last questions. Tycoon says, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. I'm looking to grow my business and want to extend into clothing and shoes. Excellent. What are the pros and cons? What's a good place for the lowest minimum ROI and dollar amount? What are good sites you should look at? Thank you for your advice. Well, obviously, we're not going to tell you exactly where our wholesale items are in any of that, because you need to do your own work for that. In a general sense, I do love clothing. I do like hitting up specific sales, like Kohl's will have bra sales. Burlington has great deals on bras and scrubs and stuff. So any of those discount stores. For ROI, I do 50% and above usually. And then the cons would be you have about a 10% 10% return rate. A lot of times it just goes back in and goes back out to the next customer. But every once in a while you get returns that people have tried on or taken off the tags, and you got to sell it somewhere else, garage sale, eBay, donate it, whatever.
Yeah, and look at any site, look at any site you would normally shop at and pay attention for the sales and pay attention for Rakuten, Top Cashback, any discount sites that offer added discounts on clothing and shoes that you would be buying. PM Porter says, I couldn't find the everything in one box button. And if you're referring to Inventory Lab, there's no such button. If that's what you're talking about, it would be a case pack if it's all the same item that you're case packing. And if you're referring to Amazon, when you're doing your shipping label portion in Seller Central, once you have pushed your shipment into Amazon, it's a drop down menu that says everything in one box. I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Okay, she says no, or he or she says no. So go ahead and explain what you're looking for. Nate says, is there another ASIN for OTC Ungate? Probably. What? There's a lot of OTC stuff. Try on Rite Aid, the Rite Aid sleeping pill. It's not a money maker anymore, but it used to be a money maker. See if that's an OTC. Just go to Amazon, type in Rite Aid sleep aid pill, and then go to Rite Aid, match it up, see if that will work for you. I don't know. You're going to have to research that, but there's a lot of different OTC things. I know that those are there, and if that works, that works, and it wouldn't be super expensive. Hello, I signed up for both groups. I'm concerned over finding 5 leads a week, never done OA. If you're on both groups, the VA driven one, you only have to find 1, and then the other one you have to find 5. So you need to contribute 6, 1 to the VA group and 5 to the lead driven group. And I first worried about this as well, like back in the day. I find so much. It's utterly ridiculous. So don't be too worried. Don't let that stop you, I guess, is where I'm going with that.
Yeah, because you'll go down a rabbit trail. Sometimes somebody might give me a lead, and let's say the lead was the cereal that we just looked at, the Captain Crunch cereal. And then that got me looking at all the other kinds of cereals. And sometimes just somebody else's lead sends you on a rabbit trail, and now you found 3 more leads.
Yep. Oh, okay. PM Porter is saying that Amazon changed the workflow again. They did, and I walked through it, but it was a week or 2 ago, so I don't remember what we did. But I'm unfamiliar. So let me click around for a second.
And what is she talking about? When we are actually shipping in our shipment to Amazon through that tab?
Yeah, but through Amazon, not through inventory.
Yeah, that was the second thing that I was wondering, and let me type in my Amazon account on this other tab.
Yeah, you only have individual things and or create templates. So PM Porter, the Amazon will tell you where things are going to go, and there's ways to trick the system to get things to go to one place. If you don't want to trick the system and you want everything to go to one place all the time, that is a setting in your settings that you need to say you're going to.
And you have to pay for that. I feel like.
And then you pay for the distributing of those products. So I think that might be what she's talking about.
Yeah.
Fatumatita, I botched that. I'm so sorry. Says that they only do books as of right now. Well, if you join, you can learn. If that's something that you want to do. If you don't, then stick with books. That's also an awesome place as well. I found that my sourcing skills really increased every time I bought an OA sheet or into a group and or sourced with somebody else, because they would show me tips and then I would learn, and then you just learn more and more and more, and then you get really good at it. Okay, did we have anything else?
Nope.
Yeah, Nate, let me know if you need help. You know my number, so I would try the Rite Aid sleep stuff. What do you got going on today, Tina?
Well, after this, we're going to go get gas in our cars, my husband and I, and get a
Exciting.
couple of replens at the grocery store that's in the same parking lot. Pick up
Uh,
a big order that was shipped to my mother's house on accident instead of my house. And then I'm going to work, come home and work.
yeah, I've got a bunch of work going on too.
Yeah, my husband and I are getting gas together in our cars today because the grocery store, we've earned enough fuel points that we get off like almost 50 cents a gallon for our gas. So we're going to go tag team that opportunity there.
Yes, that sounds good. I have got, he says goals sales this year. Oh, to survive, Jose, to survive. My son's going off to college. My daughter started high school this week. I am,
I
yeah,
always want my sales goes to be $100 million, but that never happens.
no. Let's see here. Last year I did 80,000 for Christmas time, and I want to kind of have $100,000 month. That would be
This year.
awesome. But not killing myself is also important.
Yeah,
Well.
it's a lot of work.
It is. It's a lot of work, and I worry about my feet. I've got to source some shoes, not Crocs, but some good shoes that are not.
You so need some Crocs now. Actually, my favorite shoes for comfort are my UFOs.
Yeah, I
They are
like those
so comfortable.
too.
They're ugly too.
They are. They are the most
They're
ugly
ugly.
shoes. They're so ugly. My husband said I can't go out of the house in those.
And my husband doesn't care what I wear. I'm lucky that way.
I think this is the only thing he's ever said. He was like, "Oh my God, those," and he wears some bad stuff too, like my son with the socks and the slides. And anyhow,
Yeah, UFOs are so comfy.
well, I gotta get my toe feeling better. My toe has been achy this week, and I'm trying to get it to be up and going, ready for scanning and sourcing. UFOs,
UFOs.
UFOs, ofoodaloo-boo-boos. Okie dokie. Well, I hope everybody has a great day and good luck sourcing this weekend. And if you, just again, if you are not in the Facebook group, check your email for those invites.
Yes.
If you don't have it, then Tina's got to add you as a friend and then invite you and then
Yes. And I
disown
saw I
you.
had a friend request during our live. I'm sure that's for that. And Brandy, I'm going to get to you first.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Well, have a good night or good day, whatever.
Good day, good night, whatever. Have it all be good. All right. Bye, y'all.